गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट. गना शॉट में अब सबका स्वागत है. टुडे वी गोना टॉक अबाउट rare earths, Myanmar, China, USA. There's a rare earth war going on. Many of us don't understand it, and uh, you know it manifests itself in different forms. What do you think this humanitarian corridor is all about? It's not about humanitarian issues in Myanmar. It's not about helping Rohingyas or all that nonsense. It's rare earths, critical minerals, resources. And as we go along, we'll understand this story as it is unfolding. Uh, this is not going to be a thing why America is putting a humanitarian corridor from one particular place and not other place. You have to understand the background. You have to understand the rare earth story. And you have to understand the Myanmar resource story. And then everything will fall into place. You will not ask me questions. I mean, you can ask me questions. A lot of things will get resolved. But first things first, have a look at this picture. I mean, you think this is all fields? No, these are mountain sites. What do you think these are? These are rare earth mining sites, right? These are rare earth mining sites. And we'll get to them later. The same picture I'll explain to you towards the end of the podcast. Okay, let's get going. Sometime back we all heard that critical exports were banned by China. What are critical export? Rare earth materials. We all know that. Okay, nothing very great about it. Okay, then this yesterday I saw this. Now EU is also not getting them. Right? China has put in a whole lot of restrictions. It actually holds the key. Let's be very clear. And it's not letting rare earths get out from to anyone. I won't say rare earths, more of magnets, and we'll come to it. Okay, and there's a new trade war which is starting, or on these issues, critical materials. The Chinese have, stopped rare earth or magnets going to USA. USA said will not give you technology for Boeing, which you want, or the C919 aircraft which you want to make, or things for that. So there's a to and fro going on, technology, it's all going on. But in the middle of all this, that humanitarian corridor, I am getting back to that humanitarian corridor because we have to understand what it is. But first, I'll take you through a journey of rare earths. You have to understand what rare earths is. What is this bloody rare earth business? Actually, I've done this some time back, but at that time things were not in that alignment. So not many people saw it. See, if you look at the periodic table, these are the rare earths. These are the lanthanides, right? These are the lanthanides, and these are transition elements, and these are the rare earths. So, okay. Now, what are the thing about rare earths? High density, high melting point, high conductivity, and high thermal conductance. Very good for many things. We'll come to that. If you look in a car, where you can relate. Okay, this is of course a Toyota. A lot of air earths, whether it's in the electrical motor, which has got neodymium and praseodymium and dysprosium and terbium. These are all there. This is the thing, and every place where today you in a car you have rare earths. Okay, so it's not as if rare earths. You needed widespread utility. But let's look at rare earths itself. There are two kinds of rare earths. One is the light rare earth elements. The other is the heavy rare earth elements. Many people don't understand rare earth or rare hota hai. Okay, but what is the interesting thing? Rare earths are not rare. The problem with the rare earths is they are dispersed, hard to extract. They're not concentrated anywhere. They are available almost everywhere. Okay, cerium, which is this cerium, is the most abundant rare earth element, and it is most common than, in fact, it is more common than copper and lead. The amount of copper and lead in the world is less than cerium. Very interesting, isn't it? But copper and lead you find in mines in concentrated form, cerium you don't, or for that matter, anyone. And most REs, rare earth elements, are more abundant than silver, gold, or platinum on Earth. So it's not this thing. So the thing is that concentrated and economically mineable deposits of REs are unusual. That's the thing. You can't get them. If you have a method of extracting these from normal mines, then there's no problem. The problem is extraction. They come in such minute quantities everywhere that you can't get hold of them, and they are available only in certain places in mineable quantities. We'll come to that also. What are the light rare earth elements? These are more abundant and dominant consumer electronics and energy applications, magnets, catalysts, glass polishing, batteries, and lighting. So you can see this details in the slide if you people are very interested later on. Okay, these are lanthanum, cerium, praseodymium, and neodymium. And then there are heavy rare earth material, HREs, dysprosium, terbium, yttrium, and erbium. These are scarce. These are lesser available. They are critical for highly specialized, high-tech, and defense uses. This is the game is largely about HREs. It's not that the LREs are not required. The HREs are the more critical ones, and the game is about this. So magnets, lighting displays, laser, defense, nuclear, medical, all this are its use. So those of you, like I said, those of you who are interested, have a look at the slide later on in your own time. Now these are the ones. Dysprosium, heavy rare earth material. We'll concentrate on a bit on this. Heavy rare earth materials. Dysprosium, terbium, erbium, thulium, yttrium, lutetium, yttrium, and holmium. Okay. But what are in this, there are three. Dysprosium, we'll come to that. First is dysprosium. This is the high temperature magnetic specialist or magnet specialist. Needed for electric motors, wind turbines, nuclear reactors, dosimeters, clean energy technologies. This is what you use for your motors, most of your motors. Okay, particularly in EVs. Right? Now, this clean energy technologies, all we are looking at batteries, all that, you need dysprosium. So, the story is about dysprosium. We'll come to that. Okay, the demand for dysprosium is going to rise exponentially. And why is it rising exponentially? Because increasingly we are adopting electric vehicles and renewable energy systems. But by the end of this presentation, you'll realize, are these clean energies? You'll see that they are not. It's my firm view that all these clean energy systems are as dirty as fossil fuels. Okay, there's a heavy price we have to pay for these so-called clean energy systems. Right? Okay. Terbium is the luminant powerhouse or the luminescent powerhouse. It is used for lighting and displays. It is used for fuel cells. It is used for sonar systems. Okay. And the third is holmium. It's a magnetic field master. Very strong magnets, such as MRI machines and all that, you need holmium. Lasers, optical isolators, medical applications. So you can read all this on your own time. After all, the slide is available. That's why I made it big. You can freeze it and have a look at it later on. Okay. Now let's go into the story of this rare earths. It's not as if rare earths people didn't know. People knew it from a long time. Only their utility has increased off late. Go back to 1993. At that time, 38% was in China, 33% was being used in United States, 12% in Australia, 5% each in Malaysia and India. Remember, India has a huge stock of uh, rare earth materials. I'll come to it at the end, right? There are other countries which have Brazil, Canada, South Africa, Sri Lanka, and Thailand, which make the remainder, about 2, 3, 4%. But these are only those which have been discovered so far. As you go along, this whole story might change. Now, in 2008, China concentrated most of this story, and it controlled 90% of the market. The complete process from getting hold of it to processing it and converting it into a product. Okay, that China mastered, but China has paid a very heavy price for it in terms of their ecology. But that's China. China doesn't mind paying a price. And in 2000, by 2011, China was controlling 97% of the rare earth market. That's what I've written here, and it's a fact. Till about 1990, or even I would say till about 2000, 2010, China was not controlling the market too much. There was a huge, black market in China. Somewhere around 2009-10, the Chinese government got hold of all the black marketers, throw them out, and consolidated this and brought in regulation because they were finding severe degradation, severe, ecological problems, severe contamination problems. So they regulated, brought in regulator, threw a lot of these players out, and consolidated the market and got a grip of it strategically. But having said that, there's still a second-hand market in this, or rather, there's still a black market in this. Okay. Now, after that, Chinese government has started limiting the number of either Chinese firms or Sino foreign JVs, which can export these rare earth elements. Okay, and good, bad, or ugly, at this point of time, China has the biggest amount of rare earth element deposits which have been brought into action. Many places there are, but they have not been used. Okay, this is the production. This is the production chart. It's not the where rare earths are available. It is where how are produced. If you see, 62% of rare earths are from China, right? 10% from Australia. 12% are still produced in USA. Okay, there's a place called Mountain Pass in California. But the thing about that is rare earths are taken out from there, but they're not processed there. They're taken, the complete raw material is taken to China, and China processes them. Why this has happened is because the environmental effect is rotten, and China is prepared to pay for it. That's what I said. The environment, societal issues, all that, China is prepared to pay the price for it. So that is how this whole story. And you'll see India also produces production 1% or so, but our capability to produce is much more. Okay, we'll talk of it, but India doesn't have HRE, that is heavy rare earths. We don't have. We have abundant light rare earths. We have not developed them because if you have to develop them, you have to pay a very high environmental cost, deforestation, and all. We'll talk of it a little later. Okay. See, contrary to what people believe, the total rare earth market is only 5 to 7 billion per year. It's not a big market. It's not a big market, and but for every electric vehicle you need 10 to 15 kg of it. So it's a very niche segment. You can't use rare earths everywhere. Okay, and so rare earths have become a strategic tool now, not before. Right. What's the rare earth production map in China? This is it. Mongolia, this Bayan-Obo mines are supposed to be the biggest rare earth mines in the world, and where they're proven reserves, where you can mine them. But they are all largely light rare earth materials. The first four, which is cerium, lanthanum, and all that. In China, the only place where heavy rare earth materials are available here is south. Okay, it's in Guangdong, in that belt, southern belt. Uh, it's in the clay kind of a soil, they say. I mean, I really actually don't know, but research tells me it's in some clay kind of soil, which is there. Uh, for a long time, China kept taking their minerals out from there, but now they also stopped. They don't. China does not anymore go in for heavy rare earths from its own place. If they do, they must be doing just to keep the system alive. But largely, China imports heavy rare earth material. The raw material it imports, and it's not only import; it's smuggling. To be very honest, it's smuggling. Okay, and it's only a few places, part of the Belt and Road, where they're exploiting, and we'll come to that. Yeah, when we come to refining of these rare earth materials, China controls 85 to 90% of global rare earth refining capability. It's got the capability of turning raw ore into usable metals and oxides. Normally, they use this oxides. Or the thing is, again, I come back. It is environmentally degrading. Uh, US, Australia, Canada, and others, even Russia, are scaling up. Because now that this whole war has broken out, things are changing at pace. It's not anymore that China can get away with it. But the problem is the costs are high, environmental regulations and technology know-how gaps are there. Uh, Originally, US had the complete know-how about this rare earths, but in the past 20 years, since they offshored it to China, and China developed the technology, and they've refined the technology so that they control the technology of refining and production. Utility is something else. So the production. So if you think China's EV drive is something very great, it is because of this. But there's a catch to this. I'll come to it, and that is where this whole story of rare earth war. When you say rare earth war, it is in that. Okay, uh, I'll come to it. Very interesting. Yeah. See, that's what I said earlier. US Mountain Pass mine often ships ore to China for processing due to limited local capacity. They've got enough in USA, but their own regulations prohibit them from uh, refining. So they have contracted their ore to go to China. Interesting, isn't it? Now that's a contract. Now Trump can reverse it, but who'll refine it? They have to. It's a process. But the thing is, a process has started all over the world. The Japanese are in it in a big way. Japanese don't have any capability of, or rather, they don't have any reserves of this or deposits of the rare earth elements, but they're into mining and refining. Right now, there is also a study which has gone on, and this comes often in Chinese portals, that people have now, like I said, people are scaling up. In about 10 years, in 10 years, China's dominance will go. So China has this window for the next 3-4 years to squeeze and get what it wants. But if China faces a problem now, then well, it's gone. But within about 10 years, China won't be so dominant to, dictate terms to everyone. The day it stops dictating terms to everyone will say Tenga to China. And China, I mean, everyone will go ahead and this whole story will collapse. This whole story will collapse. Okay, but it's not going to happen so easily. I'm telling you that also for many reasons. Okay, now this is a Chinese portal which shows by 2040 what will be the global rare earth mining heat map, or rather where all it will get. You'll see, China still controls 23% in this. Let me expand it. Yeah, China still will control 23%. But from 23%, it's going to come down to, from 90 odd percent, it's going to come down to 23%. You'll see Australia is going up, South America and North America are going up, basically in Canada and South America. Okay, you'll see things going up in Africa. You'll see things, some in Europe, but Russia has got a lot of rare earths, even Greenland. That's why Trump wants to go to Greenland. So, and yeah, another thing we have to understand is all rare earths are not only for EVs and things like that. You need rare earths for more. In fact, let me tell you, we have some capability of rare earth processing, and we've been doing rare earth processing. It's not as if we don't have the capability. We've been doing it conservatively, and basically we've been doing it for our own purposes, for our atomic energy thing and all that. Before you think where is India? India is not there in this map, but India has got huge proven, resources of rare earths. Okay, and that is available in along with the thorium reserves we have. Okay, I'm not going to go into India and all that because I've done a video on that fully. All right, have a look at it. Have a look at it. Rare earths for India. So you'll see the complete chain. There is a Indian Rare Earth Limited (IREL), which is a subsidiary of BARC, or rather the Department of Atomic Energy. It's a PSU under Department of Atomic Energy, which has set up facilities. There is a multi facility which has come up in Bhopal. There is a Japanese firm which has set up shop in Cuttack or Bhubaneswar. I'll not go into those details. Those details are available on the, the video I did. Have a look at it. Okay. Oh, let's get to Myanmar. Interesting. Everyone thinks Myanmar is a sleepy old thing lying there, but it is one of the places where it's the richest, one of the richest countries in terms of minerals. This is the metal map of Myanmar, what you're seeing. It's got tungsten, it's got antimony, it's got lead, zinc, silver, copper, gold, nickel, chromite, copper, all these iron, manganese belt, precious stones belt, jade, rubies. The best quality of rubies and jade in the world are from Myanmar. Yeah, see this. This is the thing here and here. Okay. And this is China, this is the Shan state. And the lead, zinc, copper belts abut China, next to China. And this is copper, gold. So a lot of smuggling goes on there. And over and above this, remember, the Shan state is the biggest contributor to the golden crescent. Drugs, poppy. And also artificial meth, artificial drugs or synthetic drugs based on chemicals. So it makes meth, it makes poppy based thing, drugs, plus all this, it has got wealth. And that is why there's no democracy in Myanmar. Every time it's the army rule because the wealth there, and army controls, or rather used to control everything. But today the scene is different. Why the scene is different, we'll just come to it. Now, besides this, look, China is interested in this complete iron ore, all that. So the natural resource of Myanmar, China wants to exploit. Similarly, now America also wants to exploit. My gut feeling is Trump has got his nose into it. He wants minerals, resources. That's why he's going to Congo. He's going. I mean, if you look at it, the way if you've seen, you just followed Gunner Shot. He's going to Latin America. He wants to go to Greenland. He wants to go to Mexico. He wants to go to Congo and other places in Africa. He wants to deal with Ukraine. He's already had a deal on critical minerals, and now this corridor, which notionally can come from here, it'll be in this. After all, this is Tripura. This area, Bangladesh, from here corridor takes you into Myanmar. What for? Minerals. There's nothing humanitarian about that corridor. It's all about minerals. And it's all about rare earths. Okay. It's all about taking China's influence out. That is what one should understand. Okay. So Chinese interests are to use these these resources. Then you have this, it's not so easy, mind you, even for China, it's not easy because they have this problem of drugs. A lot of drugs go this side into China. So that's a different story, which I have not spoken of, but I did it in part as part of things for, what shall I say, Manipur when I was discussing. So there's a issue here, right? Then let's get to this map, which I'm showing. What is this? Myanmar has got a surplus of water. How does it help anyone? On Irrawaddy, this is a place called Mitsone. Yeah, there's a place called Mitsone. Okay, Mitkina, Mitchina, Mitsone, jo bhi hai. There's a dam which China wants to make. And from that, there's already some small dam which they want to make big and all that. And from there, China wants to take power into its heartland, Yunnan. China wants power. China is energy deficient. So that's the second interest of China. The first interest is minerals. The second interest is hydroelectricity. It can't take water. It can't take water. Water it wants to take from Brahmaputra. And to take water from Brahmaputra, it needs that mega dam. After all, that mega dam is where? Here only. No, it's not. It's not in England. It's here, just here. If I put it, if I put this, it's somewhere here. Right. This. Yeah. Can't show it here. Yeah. Somewhere there. The pointer is not coming up. Yeah, somewhere here. Okay. From there, it wants to take water because from a higher level to lower level it can go. And the electricity which is generated will enable water to go. And whatever residual electricity, it will go to Yunnan. But here, the thing is very clear. They want direct electricity to go into China. So this is the second interest of China. Okay. Now, third interest of China is Shokfu port. It's already there. It's only that you can't do much about it. And from Kunming to Ruli to Mandalay to Chokfu, they've already built their China economic corridor, China-Myanmar economic corridor. What China has done here is they bought this land. They own this land. You have to understand the implication. They own this land from local people they have bought. Whether they bought it from local people or from government of Myanmar, they've done, and it's now guarded by Chinese guards. Right? I mean, it's a pipeline and other things, a road which goes along that pipeline, and either side they own that land. So they have a communication, so they have an entry into Indian Ocean, which is anathema to Americans, it's anathema to us, but we have kept quiet for whatever reason. Okay, because this is where our Indian thing has come unstuck. We have not had the strategic vision to enter Myanmar and act boldly out there. Because we didn't understand the game in Myanmar. We didn't understand the water game. We didn't understand the critical minerals game. We have not understood the rare earth game. We have not understood many things, the drug game. We have not understood what's going to happen to us in Manipur. So as a result of this, we have boxed ourselves. Yesterday I said we lack strategic vision. We honestly lack strategic vision because we have never been. I'm all our discourses. We don't talk of Myanmar and how to block China in Myanmar, and we can. Okay, we can with the help of locals in Myanmar, with the help of the junta in Myanmar. You can do both. You can play this both ways. But unfortunately, our government is you can talk big about Pakistan, but the payoffs are here. You do something here, China will get a huge jolt, and that's what the Americans are trying. The humanitarian corridor is all about that. So I got three interests of China here. It's free interest, huh? Mind you. They paid very little, and they're going to get out of proportion results. And how has China done it? They have created these armies. This brotherhood alliance is completely funded by China. Now they are fighting against the junta, and the Chinese are funding the junta, and they're funding this alliance also. They say, if you keep fighting, my interests are protected. One day they'll build a dam. That dam, so far, the junta has not accepted. In fact, the junta didn't accept many things. They didn't want China around. And that is why this whole story started. I'll come to it with timelines just now. Okay. Now we have to see. Now the critical thing which we are talking of is that Myanmar. What is this picture? Beautiful picture, except that this is a rare earth mine. Even here, if you see, this is a rare earth mine. There's hardly any inhabitation here. Even if you see, this is not a village. All this is a part of a rare earth mine. So we'll come to that. Very interesting. Till about 5-10 years back, Myanmar's share of rare earth production global was just 2%. Today it is 14%. Okay. It is the world's largest producer of terbium and dysprosium. Where is it all going? It's going to China. And this is something which people should understand. This whole story, this game there is all about rare earths today. Like I said, China has stopped doing rare earth production, especially the heavy rare earths mining in the southern China. They're doing it now here. And of course, they're going elsewhere in Africa and all. But today, this is the biggest source for them. Now you'll say, look, yes, I'll prove it by timelines. Just now. This is where I think this is the most important part or the most interesting part of the presentation today. If you understood this, everything else falls in line. It was this is what date? The date here I put here. Right? 5/11/24 or 11/5/24, 11th May 24. Last year. Okay. This was when Xi Jinping came out with new quality development, new productive forces, new technology. This is the heading in QC. This is a commentary by the QC team, that is Xi Jinping's view. Understanding new quality productive forces and accelerating their development. What is this all about if you go back 1 year? It is all about EVs, solar, batteries, all that, isn't it? High quality, development and all that. Last year, we're talking only last year. So let's correlate this. I'm getting back to China now, getting back to Myanmar. This is the China-Myanmar border. There's this place called Chipwe. Yeah. And what is this dots? These are all mines. These are all rare earth mines. Similarly, in Momak, all rare earth mines just across the border into Myanmar. Right. From 2019 onwards, right, to 24, Myanmar was the primary rare earth supplier to China. Primary. But from 24 onwards, Myanmar is the only supplier or the biggest supplier. And this is where the thing gets interesting and intriguing. Okay. Now, Myanmar has rare earth mines. From there, it goes to Chinese processing plants. It's shipped. Certain amount of extraction is done there. That concentrated extract goes to China. And then you make permanent magnets and put them in electric vehicles or wind turbines or wherever. Okay. They are all used in clean technologies. Now, here you call them clean technologies, environmentally productive. We'll see what happens here. And then you'll understand that the clean technologies are not clean. They're not clean. Okay. Now, from 2017 onwards, rare earths export to China were going up. Okay. Going up. Then the Janta took over in Myanmar. Okay. The Janta took over in Myanmar and they closed the borders. They said, no, you cannot export to rare earths to China. Okay. So the Janta started because they wanted to make money, as simple as that. And then what happens? October 23, this three brotherhood army, the Northern Alliance kind, Arakan army and MNLA and all that, they got together and they start the civil war. There they go. See the story which is happening. So the civil war has a start point here. So immediately in 23, you see once the civil war happens, you see 23 the amount of heavy rare earth oxides which are being exported. Now this is a Chinese site, where I got China's imports. China's import from Myanmar hits record high in 23 in tons of heavy rare earth oxides. Of course, it has hit because of this civil war. 22 they closed it. 23 there's a civil war, and suddenly the things start shooting up. So those militias are now exporting. Now that is legalized by China. Okay. January 24. This all falls on a clockwork. January 24, Xi Jinping announces high quality development and new productive forces. So this 40,000 tons, which are, this thing goes up. After that for 24, 25, 24, the figures are not out. They'll not show it also. It might come out. I'll search for it. And maybe I'll one day more do another thing. So Xi Jinping, G24, he starts this. So there's a correlation between what's happening here and here. Okay. So you see this now. Imports from Myanmar, imports from other countries. Over a period of time, slowly the imports from Myanmar have increased. Right? And now we'll get into what's this site? Mining site. This is a mining site. Now, what do you think these are? These are not, I think these are all concentrated ore to be shipped out. The interesting thing is this. This is a leaching pond. Okay, this is a leaching pond. Let's get into it a little more. See, these are the leaching ponds where the concentrate is collected. We'll come to, I'll just explain that also a little. This is a mine which is finished, where extraction is over. This is how it looks. Defoliated, nothing can grow here. Nothing can grow. After that, it's gone. Environmentally, that's finished. I don't know when things will grow. Mother Nature will have to restart vegetation. Okay. And why, we'll just see. This is the crux. Now, what happens? You know, the this hillside is impregnated with heavy rare earth elements, but they are not, like I said, you can't take it out and use it. You can't dig and use it directly. You have to leach it out. So there's a leaching agent which is put into the top through holes on the hillside, and then water and leaching agent concentrate is pumped into this. So now what happens is, because of this water, the drainage starts. The drainage of this, and that leaching agent, mixes with the rare earth and oxide and starts getting in, and it gets collected in holes like this or tanks like this. See this? So these are the boreholes for the leaching agent, which is dropped from the top, and water is pumped in the side. So then the water, everything starts draining in, and it drains into the collection tanks. Okay. This is kept at the bottom of the hillside. Okay. We'll come to each one. Now, what's this? It is the leaching agent is ammonium sulfate. It is injected into the earth pipes. These are the earth pipes. As the solution tracks downslope, it gathers the rare earth element. China has developed this technique. It is known as in situ leaching. Way back in 1980s, they developed it. They developed it initially in their own areas. Now they're using it internationally. Okay. Now, there are widespread reports of pollution. Water courses get polluted, farmlands get polluted, and vegetation gets destructed. I've shown you a photograph. Okay. Now, after this whole story is done, you can't plant anything in these fields. You can't catch fish in the stream. Animals die if they drink water. This is the environmental effect. Okay. Now, oxalic acid is used to treat the rare earth element once they've been drained from the mountainside. So in these tanks, right, which I showed earlier, in these tanks they use oxalic acid. And that also eventually goes into the ground and earth. And that is pure poison. Okay. Now, in this area, generally, this is across the mining region, workers complain of coughing, numbness, skin conditions, kidney issues, all due to this chemical cocktail used in these mines, even cancer and all that. And in these conditions, these poor Myanmaris who are doing all this have no cover. Now let's see a couple of sites just for good fun. Right. This is in that Momak area. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see this Momak area, and then we'll see Chipvi also. So this is the thing. I'll get an overlay. Now these sites are the mining sites. This is how I tracked it. I got a track somewhere and then put it and adjusted to the map. And this is Myanmar, this is China. Okay. Now let's zoom into these sites, which are here in the circle. These are the sites. See how that area has gone. These tracks are not villages. These are all mining sites. Okay. These are all mining sites. This is it. If you zoom in, you get a mining site like this. This is the tank which I showed earlier. Okay. Now let's go to the other place, Chipvi. There's this village called Pangwar, which is a border village which is in Myanmar. Now, if you put an overlay on this is the number of sites here. Actually, this is a horrible place. Now, look at this. You zoom in. Okay. If you see, this is a mining site. If you see, this is a mining site. If you see here, this is a mining site here. Here, I'll just show you. These are all mining sites. These are all places where HREs are mined. Okay. This illegal method. Look at this. This is the first thumbnail from which I made. See this. Okay. These are all hills. These are all three-dimensional pictures which I took out of Google Earth yesterday night. Every hillside has this. Now, just to give you an idea, you know what's the distance between these two? The perimeter from here to here to here to here, if you walk, it is 1.5 kilometers. This is at 1700 meters. And each leg is about 500, 600 meters. So, in this area of 600 meters, right? 600 meters, there are 3 mines. Just 500 meters. Just think what's happening there. Okay. Now you see here again, suddenly, till 21, 22, this is the level of EV sales. From 23 onward, it's taking off. Now EVs. It's all the devastation which is happening in Myanmar. Okay. See this? Correlates. You just correlate this. And with that Three Brotherhood Army being formed and Xi Jinping, this is not simple. There's geopolitics involved, there's everything involved. Now the Americans know that all this China is doing. So now they want to enter humanitarian corridor through Bangladesh. And because probably they would have come to India, India would have refused it. Okay. And they've gone. Because American presence, we have problems. But Americans want to now squash this. Because geopolitically, it is unaffordable for them to China to continue with this. They would rather be controlling this. So they are using Bangladesh. Now the whole story comes unfolded. Why radicalism, this, that, all that nonsense. They are gunning for rare earths through this humanitarian. So this is not a humanitarian corridor. It is more of a rare earth corridor. And of course, if they can get gold and tin, which is there, which is proven, and rubies and all that, why not? But there's another actor in Myanmar. The third actor is Russia. Of course, the fourth actor is India, which we have done nothing. Russia is also an actor in this, but they have not played into this so far. But America, definitely. Okay. And this is it by volumes, EV volumes. See how it has gone up. When it has gone up in the recent past. It's not gone up before. Okay. What are the environmental impacts of all this nonsense? Right? You have land and ecosystem disruption, water contamination, radioactive byproducts, high energy and carbon footprint, toxic waste. You have whatever you call it. See this. I mean, it is sickening to go through this. Soil degradation, these tailing points where, it's horrible. People die. Someone is paying a huge price for every EV which we drive. Okay. Now I'll touch upon India for about 4-5 minutes. Why, world production of rare earth oxide, India is very high. Steady. Others have increased, but India is steady. Okay. Because we only take out what we want. By reserves, we are very high. If you see, India has got huge reserves of rare earths. But like I said, the rare earths which are available to us are light rare earths, not heavy rare earths. Now, if you want to use even the light rare earths, these are available along with the thorium sands. Our sands are full, Orissa, Kerala, some part of Tamil Nadu. Uh, even in Andhra Pradesh, there are places which are full of uh, thorium, and with the thorium, you find these LREs. Now, as you extract thorium, you can extract this also, but the environmental cost is huge. Now they're saying some places in Rajasthan you can get these. They're being done some mining and all that. Fine, we can do, but the environmental cost which India pays will be very high if we go in for exploitation of. You want to become a big rare earth player in the world, there's a problem. Unless we find technology to extract it without environmental degradation, it's difficult for India. And mind you, all this environmental degradation will be at the cost of our agriculture and livelihood of our people, which we cannot afford. Okay. We should get into this game, there's no doubt, so that our fundamental security related needs are okay. I am not of the view that India should go EV. If you want to, like Mahindra has gone into manufacturing EVs, they're struggling now because the magnets have stopped. So why do you want to get involved with it? Now that you know how degrading it is. Okay. Now, the questions which come up are these really clean energies? Then we need to prioritize through government. You need to use hybrid technologies. There is something called fly ash extraction. Okay. You see, in iron ore, which you make, or in thermal plants, when you burn coal up, fly ash goes off. People say that fly ash also has rare earth elements. So, can you extract rare earth elements from fly ash? This is a next gen technology. Ash, basically from ash. So, these are the things which are coming. Now, would you like to increase production of HREs? The world might do it. Would you like to do it? There's a question, right? You could do a deal with Myanmar. You could do a technology for resources strategy. I'll give you resources because I can give you raw material. You give me technology. You can do it with Japan and things like that. I mean, you have to have this capability of thinking. You can do a government to government deal on rare earth materials. I mean, these are the ways to go up. You need to invest into technology. Invest into technology is good. There is something called electrokinetic extraction. Can we do work on that? And for that, then you have to involve all your, IITs and all that. So far, our thinking, Forge, not Forge, in India, is more about software and AI and all. But you need to do fundamental science research, which we are not doing. Okay. Reduce your reliance on a single source of supply. Exploit new sources. Invest into recycling. A car which has had an accident, can you recycle? Batteries, can you recycle? Extract. So there's so many things. You need to make waste disposal attractive because each computer of ours has enough rare earth materials. Can you use it? How well can you use the waste which has rare earths back into this thing? So we don't have to have one single strategy. You need to have a multiple, you have to have a multi strategy. That is something which we don't seem to understand. I can keep making these videos, and all of you will like it. But the point is that how many, what is the government doing about it? Government is doing something about it. There's no doubt, but the pace at which it is doing is weak. Or have a strategy. Don't get EVs. So what if you delay your EVs entry for the next 5 years? How does it matter? How does it matter if you don't have EVs? Your problem is why you EVs. If you have EVs, you don't have to have fossil fuel. Think of something else, right? So I think we need to rethink the way we are, doing this whole story. But coming back to the beginning, Myanmar, China, USA. Now I hope you understood why USA wants to get into Myanmar and why China has put its fingers into Myanmar. What should we do? Should we help USA? Should we do something on our own? Because we can also do a lot. Are we waiting for something to happen in China that we start doing something? Or when? Do you have a strategic outlook on what you want to do? Can you do disruption of this whole story? Okay. So we need to think. And I like what Sweta says. Is not gonna lie, General. We seem to work best when push comes to shove. Maybe this was the push we needed. I don't know whether this is the push we had to get. Right? Yeah. Now Ashu's Chess Lab says hydrogen. Hydrogen is a pipe dream. Let me be very honest. It's a pipe dream. Hydrogen technology is not so simple. It's nice to talk about hydrogen technology on the YouTube, but on ground, hydrogen technology is a dangerous technology. Not everyone uses hydrogen technology. Even so far, even space people have not used the hydrogen technology. The आप लोग कहाँ से you think you can get hydrogen in a fuel pump instead of petrol? Forget it. Yeah, these are all pipe dreams. तो बेवकूफ बनाने वाली बात है एक दूसरों को. Yeah, please make a lecture on key problem research statements for IITN. Yeah, I should. But look, this is not something which I should make. This is Arunachal. This is something which the government of India should understand. Which are the technologies which are required? There are guys who are paid for it. There are guys who are from all these IITs. They are the guys who should be having think tanks who say what are the next generation technologies, the next generation resources you need. I can only highlight a few things. That's it. Okay. Can the emerging area of quantum computing, AI help? All this is, you don't need quantum. Look, you are looking at certain things which you have to extract. This is hardcore, hard physics, hard chemistry. That's why I said we think too much on quantum and all. Yeah, पहले काम तो कर लो. Yeah, you're right, Kamath. It's very far away. Right. Hydrogen was discovered before petroleum and abundant. I completely agree with you. Because it's unsafe. It's unsafe to handle hydrogen. You need very high levels of safety. Very glibly people talk of hydrogen. Okay, before that, Obelix, thanks for becoming a member. Uh, Debaria, also Banerjee, thanks for becoming a YouTube member. And Podila Aditya, also thanks for becoming a YouTube member. Thanks all of you who have taken the trouble of coming and watching this. Yeah, one option is to focus on public transport system. There's scope for huge improvement. I agree with you. You need to find mass transport systems which are low cost ultimately because of volumes, and you reduce the number of vehicles on the road. It helps hell of a lot. But well, we have our own thing. You need a policy. You need a policy at the government level. हमारा तो we are only fighting with each other, politically. वो खराब है, ये खराब है, वो national है, ये anti-national है. We don't seem to be doing the right thing. Yeah, unfortunately, car manufacturer lobby is too strong. Push for new vehicles, 15-year rule for petrol cars is driven by them. Yeah, this is the problem. This is the issue. It is driven by vested interests. Can the emerging area of quantum computing, we've answered this. Okay, let's go to the top and see. Right. Akash, Jai Hind, thanks a lot coming. Rupa and Deb, it's now habit seeing in the morning. Wonder what I'll do from Monday when vacation. You can see it in between. Yeah. Ashu's chess lab, neodymium boron ion, we know that. Yeah. Mohan Pulyampet, good morning. How are you? Yeah, this is a continuation of looting of the other and smacks a continuation of colonial area by other means. Passing it off as humanitarian assistance takes the cake, your view. I agree with you. But what is China doing? It's done the same thing without talking of even humanitarian. They have gone and they've instigated a civil war. China has instigated a civil war in Myanmar. and they've destabilized Manipur so that you look internally. And like fools, our politicians fell for it. Our politicians fell for this. If Manipur was kept strong, I don't think Chinese would have attempted even this whole story. Why did PRC deceive the world again, especially West, AO, thinking they'll become democracy even though for some reason let China cap? Look, Shritik, this is a hypothetical question. They have done what they had to do. They have done it in their interest. Is it in your interest to let them to continue to do it? That is what we have to think. Today in India, it's not in our interest. So let's do something about it. Are we doing something? Nothing. Yeah, periodic table has come off your wall and has come into your presentation. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. Clean energy is not clean, it's a myth. Completely agree. Right. Yeah. Your daily podcast is like an intellectual feast ranging from basic sciences to complex geopolitics. Please continue. I'll do that. Tomorrow I'm going to do on China's population. That will be a two-part episode. I'll deal with China's population per se and the demographics of China and the effects of those demographics. Today, one of you has given me a beautiful analysis of China's demography. What are the effects? It's a research paper, actually, right? And I'm actually tempted to put it into a paper and give it to someone, but then or write an article based on that. But I'm going to present that. I'm going to present that day after tomorrow, and then we'll see how to take it forward, right? Feels like I'm in my engineering college days. Yeah, you see, that's why I say, why I ask anyone right-minded guy to come and attend Gunner Shot is, you see, well, I have interest in technology. I've been in. I wouldn't say I've been linked with technology from long. Um, a gunner officer, a artillery officer, has to know a lot of technology, and I got a little training when I was in DRDL long back from Dr. Abdul Kalam, VK Saraswat and all. I worked with them. So the technical bent of mind I developed. And then of course got back to the army and geopolitics and fighting and this and that and all that. So many times I see the connect between geopolitics, military, technology, and humanity. And I have also been extensively in CI operations, counterinsurgency, and the Northeast. So you get that connect, and that is why I want good people to come and watch Gunner Shot and have a meaningful discussion. I'm glad that people are writing to me and giving. People are telling me, giving me data, which I could not have researched. I mean, I might have researched, but I don't have the time. So many times I do particular research and then put it up to you. Others are coming up with interesting data. That is what makes our system vibrant. I want this to happen. If you people write to me anything, I'll take it seriously. I'll read it. If needed, I'll present it back to you. Yeah. Do we have most of the rare earth materials in India to manage the deficiency of not getting them from Cuba? Magnet? No, we don't have. We don't have high, the heavy rare earth materials. Most of our rare earth materials are LREs. But you can trade. You have one kind of rare earth, you can get the other. It's a matter of trading. Yeah, this is good. Happening to find India is not sacrificing environment for geostrategic gains. We need to look at, but you see, the point is, people are looking for smarter ways to and to refine HREs. Not in India. That's the point. We're not taking enough research on that. It takes research. It needs scientific development. You just new tech and AI and all is talk, but you have to do, your PhDs have to be on this. They have to do research. To develop a technology, it takes 5, 6 years, and we are not doing that. Yeah, this is another important factor. Batteries have to be recharged with electricity. That comes by burning coal. You can't be green. So the secondly, lithium batteries disposal can leach into water table. All these are problems. So everyone says renewable, clean technologies. There's nothing renewable. There's nothing clean. Okay, why isn't India pushing for Myanmar? That's a geopolitical decision. Uh, if China wants to take advantage of rare earths, we can take advantage of Malacca Strait. Look, don't get Malacca fixated. Everything can't be fixed through Malacca. It's not so easy. A lot of people think you will go and block Malacca Strait. You can't. You need Malacca Strait is something which is international traffic waterway. So it's just, if you block Malacca Strait, it is just not China. It is Japan, South Korea, all those other countries, ASEAN countries who get blocked, and you don't have the capability to block it so easily. So one shouldn't talk lightly. You have to block Malacca Strait. You can block Malacca Strait, but you need USA, Australia, Japan with you. Okay. Why Jay Shankar is not doing anything in Myanmar? You should ask Jay Shankar. मेरे से क्यों पूछ रहा है? Yeah, our civil service cadre are quite colonized in their thinking, especially with respect to strategic vision. Met and conversed with a few civil services officers and was quite shocked at their strategic stance. They don't have an idea also. Can India enter the game at Myanmar now? What can India do? If you have to enter the game at Myanmar, you have to support USA. Simple as that. Look, we don't have to support USA at this point of time. We can have our own game. But our outreach into Myanmar is so poor that we are not able to put on our Kaladan multimodal port. The Sitwe port is just north of Shokpu, and we're not been able to put that through. So we don't have that strategic sense. For decades, US has no interest in Myanmar. It's now that they realize that China's strategy has failed, they're trying. Yeah, there's no doubt. Thanks for the wealth of information. Thanks a lot. Now let me take some new questions, new people. Yeah, Indian media and culture are singularly focused on Pakistan. Myanmar needs more love. It's as much as our neighbor Pakistan. I think it's a more important neighbor because it gives you the link to China. You control Myanmar, you can make a lot of misery into China. And if you do that, Myanmar will welcome us. Let me tell you this. We don't have the strategic thinking of using Myanmar. Yeah, spoken so eloquently, we really lack strategic vision, especially letting all the smaller countries. Yeah, I agree with you. In pricking us, and neither we understand the resources, rare earth importance. We fail at cutting edge. I agree completely. Uh, India should focus on recycling RE unless that is anything you do on this, there'll be thing, but recycling is the lesser option because the evil has already gone by. It's just extraction. Your computers are full of RE, your vehicle batteries are full of RE. So do that. I mean, which is lesser evil. Technology is the issue basically. Yeah, a CCP is just exploiting. Yeah, I agree with you. Right, let's get back to IITNs and their mentors are focused on dollar dreams and lack original thinking based on experience. I agree. That's a problem. We have most people who talk quantum computers don't even understand how regular computers work. Yeah, I agree with you. The headline of your channel should be "Good Morning India." No, I'll skip it as Gunner Shot. I'll be happy. Okay. Most of the transport buses are on hydrogen. Maybe they've harnessed, but it's a very costly technology at this point of time. And cars as well. I've not seen this. I mean, I have not seen evidence that most of the buses are hydrogen driven. I have a friend who's working on this and he hates his job. Yeah. How is our thorium based nuclear project going on? Which country is ahead in thorium reactor technology? I heard China is far ahead. It's not so. In fact, our research wise, we are far ahead. See, every country does what it is good for itself. Uh, China has put up a thorium reactor, a molten salt reactor in the Gobi Desert. Okay, already it's a it's also an experimental reactor. It's going to take time because one doesn't know the output of this technologies in a hurry. We are going in a different route. I've done this video on thorium. Have a look at it. Just go to Ganashot and put thorium. You'll find 2 videos or 3 videos. Have a look at it. The molten salt, the three-stage process of ours uses plutonium quite a bit. You need plutonium to make thorium. So ours is going to be a longer time period, but once we get there, it'll be significant. And you need a lot of investment in this. China has been able to invest into that molten salt reactor. I mean, that's also experimental. That right. We have our complete technology for this. Last year, our prime minister inaugurated the second stage out of the third stages. Second stage of thorium react cycle, three-stage thorium cycle is now operational. It will take another 5 to 6 years before the third stage comes into play. It's not going to happen. Many of these things don't happen overnight. Okay. Why should we trust USA? An outsider, they have no stake in the well-beings of locals, whereas we locals have a stake in Myanmar. All this is nice talk, Manaswan, but the fact is, whether you trust USA or not, it's here. It's going to go in. If not now, tomorrow. To a large extent, it's good for us, but there are things which we can do for ourselves. We don't have to depend on USA because USA's continual presence in Bangladesh or St. Martin's or humanitarian corridor is not good. I don't know where are we using these hydrogen buses in India. I have not heard of it. Okay, you might have one odd bus as an experiment, not. Sir, good morning. What is the position of India in terms of critical minerals? How India is going to secure its supply chain? Like I told you, we have a lot of these critical minerals. We don't lack critical minerals. What we lack is refining and making that ore good. And that is for environmental reasons, which I agree with completely. We've already got into an equation with Japan. That's why I said have a look at that rare earths in India. It's a longish kind of a thing which I did about a month or two back. Have a look at it; you'll understand better. We have to have different strategies. I gave a list of strategies. So that's how you have to. What is our strategy? We don't know. I mean, that's the point. I have a problem. What is our strategy? I'm still not very clear. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lieutenant General Shankar, for making my post on my query on heavy rare earth plundering by China, USA. Yes, you're welcome. Because most of the subjects which I have to handle, I see from your comments. Right. Okay. Thanks a lot. I'm grateful to all of you who have come and listened. I'm also grateful to one Chinese guy who's trolling me. I'm happy you keep trolling because you give complete authenticity to my channel. I'm so authentic that you have to say comment on my mustache and my all that nonsense and use profanity. The moment you do that, we know that either you're a Chinese troll or a Pakistani troll, and we love trolls. Like he said, yeah, we love trolls. Okay, so that's how it is. Um, can sodium ion batteries replace? That's the next level of technology. We have to work on it. We have a extensive network of labs in CSIR who work on it. Unfortunately, they don't produce products. We have a lot to catch up. We have to understand where we are. It's nice to say we have defeated Pakistan and we've kept China at bay, but if you want to become a great power, you need science. That is what we are not this thing. Okay. So this is the last thing. He says China's peaceful rise, Shanky. Pingy, China's peaceful downfall is also coming. Don't worry, decline. I'll talk of it. Where is Xi Jinping, incidentally? Xi Jinping, I think he's surfaced out. He's met Lukashenko. He's being thrown out. Wang Yang is coming. All that I'll do a little later. Okay. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. We'll meet in the evening. We'll talk of post Sindoor. How do you carry out a reappraisal, or is there a need to carry out a reappraisal of Pakistan? That's the geopolitical part. I'll speak with General KJ Singh, who's been a Western Army commander and who's handled Pakistan in depth. Till then, thank you. Have a great day and good morning to all of you.